episode 131, the Terrance Henry Experience. I got a special guest in the building. He's been in business since 2017. He done remarkable things. He runs his own security company, K&C Executive. What do I say? Protection, right? Protection. So when I think of protection, right? So you're pretty much protecting, as far as over your security, right? And stuff like that. So let me ask you, how long you been in business doing this? How long? And matter of fact, before you even start that, what I want to know is, what made you start it? What made you start the business?
Made me start the business is I was working at the University of Penn.
Okay.
Working in security. Trying to figure out what I wanted to do with myself. I was finishing my master's degree, and I was coming to work every day. And I was smarter than the people I was working for.
You were smarter than the people you was working for.
My supervisors will wait for me to get on post or me to clock in and have me do their jobs. So I started to realize maybe this is a little bit bigger than what I know. Maybe I should be doing something else. The people that's counting on me, they're making way more money than I am. They got way better position than I am. So maybe let me start to think about some other things. I kind of already had it in motion, but I didn't put my foot on the gas until I kind of figured that out. I was like, well, if I'm smarter than my bosses, what happened when I become the boss? And then from there, I put my foot on the pedal and we just kept going.
You kept going. So you was working at Penn, right? You were smarter than your bosses, of course. And then after you figured that out, you started your own business, which is 2017.
Wow. I was already had the business going. I had the business going already. We had little small contracts. My first contract was, I found it on Craigslist. Lie to you not. I found it on Craigslist. Just browsing through, and a production company was looking for, I can't say what a production company is.
Okay.
But a production company was looking for security.
Yeah.
So I applied. They reached back out immediately and say, hey, we're looking for a company rather than a person. Behold, I had a company. Never started anything, just did all the paperwork, had everything official. So I replied back and said, hey, I got a company. They said, you know what? Send over your paperwork and let's go from there. So from that Craigslist post, that was my first contract.
Your first contract?
My first contract was through Craigslist. I would work the contract. I would put on a suit, go to where they wanted me to go to. Then after that, I would go to work. And it started building. Started coming more and more jobs. Then I was like, man, I got to find a better way. I got to get more money from them so I can pay someone to work and I can go back to my regular job.
Right.
So that's what I did. I found a couple of employees, paid them to go do the jobs that I was doing, and I would go to Penn and go to work. But at that time when I was working at Penn, I was also working for the government at the airport.
So you had three. So you had your own business. I had to cut you off. You had your own business. You was working for Penn, and you had your own. You was working for the government at the airport,
and finishing my master's degree.
Wow!
All at the same time.
So was it back in 2009?
No, it wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago, because I remember when we talked, you said you was working on your master's or whatever.
So probably at that time I was working on my bachelor's.
Your bachelor's, okay.
I was probably working on my bachelor's.
All right.
I finished my master's. I would leave Penn, go to the airport, write my papers at night on my phone. Never pulled out a computer a day in my life when I was working there.
Wow.
I would do it on my phone, come home, load it up to my computer, check it, submit it before I go to work, go to sleep, come back and do everything over again.
So that was your routine?
Every day.
For how many years?
2,
3 years?
Yep.
So take me into the middle of the transition you having the workers, right? Is it a training process that you have to go through to get these people certified for this first contract that you had? Was it like a...
So no, they didn't have to get trained. I knew people that was out, because I was already in the security field. Right. So I knew people. I would reach out to my first contract and my first employees were people I knew.
Okay.
So I would reach out to them. Hey, I got this opportunity. You want to earn some extra money? This is what you got to do. This is where you got to be.
All right.
This is the job.
Wow.
These guys would go to work. The company was on the West Coast.
Okay. Wait a minute, it was on the West Coast?
Company was on the West Coast. I've never seen these people a day in my life.
But you found them.
I found them on Craigslist.
You found the workers on Craigslist?
No, not the workers. The contract.
Okay.
The client is on the West Coast.
Okay.
But the employees were here. They were local. It was people I knew.
You flew them out?
Sometimes we flew out there we flew different places,
really?
Drove different places, wherever it's at.
Wow.
So, but most of it was here local.
Okay.
So I would find local employees.
Yeah. And
I would send them to the contract. But the client was from the West Coast. Mm-hmm. We would talk phone, email. That's it. Never had no issues. They still the client to this day. Mm. Never no issues.
I want to ask you something, right? Because we have a lot of people out there that want to leave their job and just do their thing.
Absolutely.
You're one of the ones that have done it, right? But you had a plan for it. This is what I want to know, because I know a lot of people going to want to be inspired by this. Tell me the day you actually felt that you can just leave this job and pursue what you were doing full time. Your last day at work. Do you remember what happened? Or was it a smooth transition out? Was it just like a breath of fresh air? What is it? What happened?
No. So it's a crazy story.
No, come on, we good.
Yeah. So while working at Penn, I got into the State Police Academy. Mm-hmm. So I was leaving all my jobs and going to be a state police officer. Went up there, tried that, wasn't for me. I came back. Mm-hmm. The company was taking off. While I was away at the academy, the company was growing at a very fast rate. And I wasn't around. And it bothered a lot of people. It bothered myself. It bothered, my son. It bothered other people that the company was growing at a fast rate and I wasn't around.
Wow.
So when I got back, I never went back to work.
Okay.
I just said, this company is going to be my full-time job. I'm going to invest my time. I'm going to invest everything into it and go. Okay. So once I resigned from the government job, I resigned from Penn, and I left the state police.
Yeah.
I just came back and said, this is my full-time job.
That's dope.
I'm not applying for nothing else. This is my job. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to start paying myself out of here and become an employee. And I just never looked back.
That's dope. Because remember the time I had applied for the police? Remember that? I called you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got real far. They was like, nah, we caught you in the lie somewhere. We got to let you go.
And it was crazy. So when I applied for the state police, I wasn't supposed to get in. I was, because when I went for the state police, I went as a liquor control officer. Yeah. Liquor control officer is a state police officer that doesn't wear a uniform. It's kind of undercover.
Yep.
So once I did that, they only was taking 15 people. Mm-hmm. I was 18. I was number 18. Mm-hmm. I got in crazy shape. Mm-hmm. I had a trainer. My trainer got me through where I needed, the weight I needed to be. Mm-hmm. I hit the milestone that I needed to be for the push-ups, the pull-ups, running the miles. We did everything. We got there. They told me I was number 18. They was only taking 15. Growing up, wanting to be in law enforcement and security, family members told me never get tattoos. Still don't have any tattoos. So, with that being said, one of the reasons I got in, because 2 people had tattoos and they couldn't get them removed quick enough to get into the state police. I didn't have any tattoos. So I moved up to 16. I moved up to 16 because those 2 were eliminated. Mm-hmm. How I got to be 15 was someone needed to get their vision taken care of. They had to get a eye exam or maybe some eye surgery. Mm-hmm. I had 20/20. So now that bumped them out. I was 15. So I got the call last minute, like, hey, you've been accepted. Get your stuff together. You got like 3 weeks.
Wow.
So that's how all that happened. And I said that was just God just setting it up for me, because who would have knew, because 2 people had tattoos and couldn't get them removed in time, or somebody had a problem with their vision that they wasn't going to get in. I just moved up 3 slots. Mm-hmm. Listen, that was one of the hardest, toughest decisions I ever made. Leaving my son, leaving my family, go to this unknown place. And I'm allowed to, like, I was the only black guy there.
Mm-hmm. I know it was out. It's in Middle Pennsylvania. It was called. It wasn't Altoona. It was. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
No, this was like Green something. I forgot where it's at, but it was past. It was like 45 minutes to like Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But it was past the regular state police in Hershey. Hershey was closer than this place was. We was past that. And it's a little small town where no black people at. I think the class we had maybe 3 black people in there, 2 females, and myself.
So even in the academy, you felt like it was like a little hostility being in there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because he was a black man. And during that time, it was a lot of African American males that looked like myself and around my age that were getting killed.
Okay.
It was the gentleman in New York that was choked out for some cigarettes.
Yep.
So it was right after that. So that was the big thing. So that was an issue. Like going up there and and they even made a mockery of it when I was there. Like they thought it was funny. So it was like it rubbed me a lot of wrong ways of the operations up there. So, but that never changed my focus on law enforcement or anything. That it wasn't meant to be.
No, it wasn't. You had a bigger purpose.
Absolutely.
For that. So now the companies grow. You left that the company's flourishing. You back, right? You're getting crazy contracts, right? You're hiring people now.
So we went from 4 employees to like 46, 48.
Wow.
All over the city. So now I'm hiring just employees. I'm hiring supervisors. I'm hiring operational managers. I'm hiring HR people. I'm hiring payroll people because now it's way bigger than I ever thought it would be.
Wow. What was the biggest contract you had so far?
Like money wise?
Like security wise, like who was the you got a call, right? And you couldn't be like, wait a minute, you want us to do this? Like who was the
Well, I got a lot of big contracts with the city right now. But the one that kind of blew me out the water was I was away in DR. I was in Dominican Republic. Gilly called me. I had done security for him before. He called me. He's like, yo, bro, I need you to help me with something. I said, what's that? Whatever you need. He's like, I need you to get on this call with me. I got somebody that need to get on the phone with you about security when they coming into the city. It's like, all right. We get on the phone. We discuss it. Finds out to be, if you ever seen the show Bel Air.
Yeah, I seen Bel Air.
So when they was in Philly, I was the one riding around with them. They reached out to me. I took them around to each location for them to pick out what location they were going to use. So before it got as big as it was now, I was the one right there in the beginning of that.
Oh, shoot.
And me and the director talk to this day. We became really close buddies.
Okay.
Young black guy from Kansas City. He's a Chiefs fan, so he's texting me back and forth about the Chiefs and the Eagles. When we lost the Super Bowl, he was texting me back and forth. But he's a great guy. He gave me a great opportunity, and he opened my eyes up to a lot of different things that I would have never knew about the production work.
Wow.
So that was kind of like the biggest call I got.
Okay.
That was the biggest call, man. That
was one of the biggest calls you got.
That was the biggest call. Of course, like I said previously, I've done security for Gilly and Wallow, other other professional basketball players, some NFL players, a lot of entertainment players.
How is that though? Like, as far as with the you running security for the entertainers, and like, what are some of the things you have to watch out, especially with Gilly and Wallow? I'm sure it's even having security for them. Like, what is that like?
So one thing I will say, and what a lot of people don't know, and I guess they'll know after this, like they were one of my biggest supporters. They seen me, they seen what I was doing, and I salute my hat off to them every time I see them, and I thank them every time I see them because they gave me an opportunity that a lot of people wouldn't have gave me. When they were going around the city, maybe 2 years ago, giving out money.
Oh yeah.
So I was one of the first ones. We didn't announce it for safety reasons, or they didn't want to. We didn't want to blast it, but those guys gave me one of the biggest checks I ever had in my life. To this day.
Wow.
And it wasn't like, hey, we're gonna do this for you. We're gonna make it big. It was a phone call from one of them. Hey, answer the phone for my account, and they're gonna call you. Accountant called me and said, this is how much we put in your account. Make sure everything line up. And it wasn't.
You ain't got some. I'm just. But
Listen, it was the biggest amount of money I've ever seen in my life, and I was grateful for it because it was well needed. It went into the company. It ain't like I put it in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
When you see me out here somewhere, wasn't that? It was given to the employees through different things, payrolls, bonuses, uniforms, a lot of different stuff. But it was the point that they seen what I was trying to do, and they gave me an olive branch.
Wow.
And to this day, I thank them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no amount of money that they can, or a favor or nothing that they can call and ask me for that I won't do.
Mm-hmm. Do you still do security for them?
Here and there.
Okay.
I know they got their own guy, but
mm-hmm.
sometimes they're associated with other people that I'm associated with. So if I'm running the security, then everything's gonna come through me. But I've done it. I've done Gilly's son Janaza, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah.
But I've done a lot of their personal stuff.
Being a security guard, right? It's a lot because you're putting your life on the line, right? And at any given time, anything is going to happen, right? So, what would be one of the things because you say you've done football players, basketball players, pretty much like that, and they're at pretty much high target because of who they are.
Absolutely.
Right. So what are some of the strategies that you feel like, is it more observing than anything and getting them out of there, and then more engaging, reacting to if you see something? Is it more like,
you gotta know your surroundings. You gotta know where you at.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta know where you at. You gotta know your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta know the people that you are dealing with. And what we say in the security world, you gotta keep your head on the swivel. You gotta keep looking and constantly. Everybody's a threat. I don't care who it is. They might just be coming up for an autograph or a hug or whatever. Everybody's a threat. So long as you keep that in your mind and you paying attention of who's coming up, which way you going, you got a plan. If something happens, which way we going.
Mm-hmm.
If a crowd gets too big, be able to get that person out of there. Or if you see someone running up, someone is suspicious, someone is moving different kind of funny, moving their hands a certain kind of way. You gotta pay attention to those different things. And it may be nothing. They may be reaching for a phone, but that phone, they may be reaching for a gun.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know what you're dealing with. So you just always gotta be paying attention. You always gotta keep your head on the swivel and just knowing your surrounding, knowing your area.
Did you ever walk into a situation like where you felt like something was about to happen? Like whereas those like it was about to go down? Like anything. Like it don't matter if it was just anything.
Yeah, I've been in a situation where someone came up to me and said, "Yo, we gonna shoot this drone up."
They came up to you, so they told you what they were going to do.
I don't think it was gonna be them.
Yeah,
but they said it's gonna be it's gonna be a shootout here. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope y'all got enough guns and I hope you got enough people.
That sounds weird that somebody would come up and tell you that they're about to shoot something up. I would think people would just shoot it up. That's crazy.
I mean, people got audacity now, man.
Yeah,
people will tell you exactly what they're going to do. So you got to be careful with it. When that information was given to me, we had to make some adjustments.
Mm.
We were prepared, but when someone tell you it's going to be a shootout, you make some adjustments.
Mm.
Sometimes the little guns ain't going to be it. Unfortunately, like, you see a lot of guys carrying these big guns and stuff. A lot of that stuff is unnecessary. A lot of it is for show.
Right.
But somebody tell you they're going to shoot something up, you got to be prepared. You got to make sure that that person that you are securing at the time, that you can get them in and out of a situation. If things go left, things go right. You
being the CEO of your company, I know you probably deal with a lot, right?
Absolutely.
Right. And you're dealing with a ton of things. And I think this out there to tell people of being a CEO, owner, I think a lot of things in the background, some of the things that people don't understand what people deal with, because it's greater responsibility, because you have to you're responsible for people's finances. Livelihood. Yeah. So that being said, and not only that, these people are putting their lives on the line,
mm-hmm.
To work somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever had a disgruntled employee or somebody that was just like, this is just not going to work out, this is too much? Do you come across like some employees where you just feel like, you know what, I would rather just let you go to save your life than allow you just to be here and something happen to you because this is not cut out for you?
I mean, we try not to hire anybody that's going to be scared.
Okay.
If you can't handle the pressure of being in this working environment.
Mm-hmm.
We try to, we don't discriminate, but
Mm-hmm.
this might not just be the job for you.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you get employees, disgruntled employees, but being a CEO, they don't know what it means being a CEO.
Yeah.
It's times I haven't paid myself and pay everybody else.
Mm.
It's times that I went into my own bank account to make sure everybody else was taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
But those are things that get overlooked because they just see you as a CEO and they got
Mm-hmm.
one view of you. They got one view of you. You're just this guy at the top. You don't do this. You don't do that.
Wow.
But what I've learned then, it's working for people over the years. I've taken some of the best advice and the best skills and strategies from bosses that I had. And I took some of the worst stuff from bosses that I had. And I said, this is not what I'm going to be, but this is what I'm going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I put that all together and became something different of myself.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I'm more hands-on. I'm the person, I got clients, if they're not calling my work number,
Mm-hmm.
they call my business, they call them my personal number. If you need me 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, something happens, I'm there. You're going to get me.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get a corporate number. You're not going to get a bunch of go through this person, this person, this person. You're going to get me. So if you are doing a deal with me, doing business with me, this is who you get. Mm-hmm. That's why sometimes these small companies, we can come in and take some of these contracts because we can give you our personal time. We can give you us instead of a corporate or a business outlook of it. Mm. And with employees, everybody.
So because I know like with employees, I mean, it's just the stuff that I'm sure that you probably got to deal with on a regular basis because of what it is. And then CEO, is it like where it's you being the CEO, does the problem come to you last or you the first to hear it? Or you have people?
It's according to what the problem is, how big of the problem is, how small the problem is, and who is the person relaying the information of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's, some clients I may have personal relationships with. Some of them I may know from personal entities are working with someone else. Mm. So they come straight to me. Mm. It won't even reach, the people I have under me. It'll come straight to me like, hey, I need you to handle this. So me handling it is either myself handling it or getting someone else to delegate it.
Okay.
But most of the times it's according to how big of the problem is, or where directly it goes, or who's the problem with.
You having a whole bunch of contracts in the city. How do you maintain and keep those clients happy? Like, how do you still maintain and keep them happy as far as though with your?
It's relationships, man. Yeah. It's relationships. A lot of people, and I've been seeing a lot of people say it. Relationships are better than money sometimes, and they are.
That is true.
That they are. I know a lot of people say that, and they sometimes they just talking to be talking. But I have seen that relationships are unlimited. If you can have relationships with certain people, it'll set you up for the next play. Mm-hmm. You do something right one time, it might set you up for the next play for the next 2 or 3 times with someone else because they've seen you do that one time. So if I do a good job here, A and B might say, you know what, we like what he did over here. Can we have him come here and do A, B, and C? So my relationships with different clients are the most important thing to me. It's not about what the contract says. It's not about what we're doing or who's working the contract. It's my relationship with them. If they have the faith in me to represent their company when things are happening, then the only thing I can do is give you my best. And if I can't give you my best, I don't feel as though I should be in that position where that contract should be mine.
Mm-hmm. And how many contracts you got so far in the city?
Enough.
That's a lot.
It's enough. It's security is like, it's like walking in the market and going in the bread aisle. Mm-hmm. It's all bread. It's all the same kind of bread. It's just different names. Mm. It's just what you personally like. What you like about that bread is like security. Mm. What you like about this company. Mm. Does it do something for you, or do they have a special need that your company needs? So it's just like going in the supermarket and getting bread. Does this bread, the white bread here, taste just like the white bread here? And the security company here, it's just like another security company here. It's just your choice. Mm. So it's a lot of competition in security.
Really?
It's a lot of competition.
Is it? Because I don't really see them. right? I don't really see. I mean, we got your basic. You know what I'm saying? I don't even. You have your basic security people here that we all know about, right? Mm-hmm. That we all see people, but that's about it. I think it's only like 2 of them here in the city that I've seen, and I don't even want to say their names, but I'm sure you know who they are.
It's a lot. Yeah. Security is a lot, man. It's off the top of my head, I can think of 25 different companies
in the city, or just alone
in the city.
Wow.
Everybody doesn't use the same people. Everybody price ain't the same price. Everybody's services are not the same services. So a lot of it go by recommendation also.
Okay.
So like I said, the relationship. If you do something good for someone else, they might recommend you to someone else.
Uh-huh.
And then that's how you build your clientele up from there.
So you building the clientele and pretty much as far as the expansion, right? As far as with other things as well. So you have a lot in the city right now, right? As far as the contracts. Mm-hmm. Do you see yourself just alone in Pennsylvania, or will you do a stretch out as far as, I know you said you had the one in California, that was your first one, right?
It's time to stretch out. It's
okay.
I don't think that you should stay at one place for too long.
Okay.
So it's time to stretch out. So hopefully we'll be stretching out very soon to different cities. I got a couple different cities in mind that I would love to be in.
Can I ask you what they are?
Well, one would be Atlanta.
That's a huge one. I can see that.
Atlanta is a great target. Atlanta is it's a lot of black millionaires, mm-hmm. billionaires in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs security. Everybody needs security at this point. So to have expansion there, I think would take our company to the next level.
But that, as far as with that, so Atlanta, would you think like DC too?
DC would be tough because there's just so much government and red tape with that. But I would say Detroit.
Detroit?
I would say Detroit, man.
So why Detroit?
So Detroit is similar to Philadelphia. A little colder, a little darker, but it's very similar to Philadelphia, man. And you have a lot of potential there. Mm. So I'm looking at not just what the city can do for me, but what I can do for the city.
Okay.
It's a lot of potential to grow in Detroit because they don't have a lot of security there. It's a lot of opportunity to get in a foundation, and while Detroit is building its way back up, mm-hmm. be a part of that. Mm. So that's why I'm saying Detroit.
No, it's not. Yeah, Detroit. Yeah, shout out Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Because
I got family in Detroit too.
So you already know how it is.
These two places that I'm naming, I've been there. I've traveled there many times. I have family there.
Okay.
So, and it's easy to get to.
So, do you ever felt like, because you running the whole company and you doing most of the stuff and you making sure everybody's good, do you ever feel like at some point you want to hire a CEO and you just be the owner, and then that's it? You hire the CEO. And then you're just the owner now.
Yeah.
Right. That
I'm looking for us to get that big where I can do that, where I can step away and be exactly what you just said.
The owner, right?
Just be an owner. Just be a solid owner, and you got a CEO, you got a CFO, and you just step away.
Just step away. You wouldn't sell the company, would you?
I don't know, man.
Because you know,
I don't. So honestly, for me to sell a company, it would have to be the right number, and I would still have to be a part of it.
Be a shareholder, right?
Not even just a shareholder. Mm-hmm. If I was still like the CEO and someone else owned it,
okay,
I would still want to be a part of it. I don't see me just selling it and walking away from it.
Okay, because it's yours, right?
It's mine. I created it. It's the initials is from my name and my son's name.
Okay, yeah, that's why K&C. Yeah.
So I wouldn't be comfortable with just walking away from it.
You know, that'd be good. Did your son? How old is your son now? Your son is 16. So he knows what you do. Did he want to get into business?
He does. He wants to get in. He wants to go to school for business.
Okay,
which is great. Right. At his age, I wasn't thinking about business. Mm-hmm. So to see him at 16 say, "I want to go to school for business," is mind blowing. Mm-hmm. It's something different. And I'm pushing him to do what he want to do, but I want him to have any experience that I didn't have, or any support that I didn't have, which I had a lot of support, but at that age, my mind wasn't on going.
Yeah, I know you're 16. Yeah, I know.
I wasn't going on business. I was 16. I was playing basketball.
Yeah,
being a lifeguard for the city. Like I wasn't thinking about that. But at 16, he has a different mindset. So I'm super, super, super proud of him.
So you always been, far as though, felt like, wanted to be in enforcement and wanted to have protection of people. So that must have came from somewhere where you felt like you wanted to do that. Do you know where it comes? Because everybody got their purpose in life.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Everybody, like I know what my purpose is. You know what your purpose is, and but to be in that realm of security, protection, and stuff like that, like where did that all come from? Like where did that part of you like, you know what, I want to protect people? It had to come from somewhere.
You know what's crazy? I probably never said this out loud, but growing up, I always wanted to protect my mom. And I don't talk about this, and I really don't. But my mom was in an abusive relationship growing up, and I felt like I couldn't protect her. So, and I seen that as a kid, of not being able to protect my mom, and it always, stuck in the back of my head. And my mom used to work for WIC. She used to work for a shelter, Woman of Hope. So I used to see her as a kid, taking stuff out of the house, using her own money to make sure other people had more than what we had or what they had. Mm-hmm. She would buy them beds. She would go above and beyond for these women and men to have things because they were they were living in a shelter. They was going through a rough time. They was, on drugs. Whatever it was, she was the giver. She was the person. She was their protector. And then growing up, seeing my mom, being in an abusive relationship and not me being able to protect her, that changed my whole aspect on protection. So, growing up, my cousins, we played cops and robbers. I was never the robber. I was always the cop. I was always the cop.
Always a cop.
Always the cop. I always wanted to be a cop. And it just stuck with me to be in that field. Like I've always been in that field. Even as a lifeguard. I was there to save people, be around people. And believe it or not, at that age, I wasn't the best swimmer, but I was taught over time, to be a good swimmer, or enough that I can, pass the test.
Pass the test, yeah.
But the protection part always just stayed with me. So that was my protection part. Wow. I want to be able to help people. I don't care what they look like. Right. I don't care what their situation is. I don't care where they live at. I don't care what their zip code is. I just want to be able to help people.
Right.
So that's my goal in life, is to be able to help people.
That's dope because, I think that some of our past trauma and what we see, it kind of signifies about how we're going to handle it moving forward. Right. The fact that you saw that, and you knew from there what your purpose and what you want to do in life because of that. One of the things for me is I tell people I always wanted to do radio because I got a big mouth, right? Everybody got to hear it. It got to stretch somehow. But it's used in a way of balancing everything out in the world, right? A balance, calming people down, or think from a reaction standpoint. That's one of the experiences that I had. Like, I'm always talking to somebody or easing somebody, right? But over time, it takes a while, right? It takes a while to know what that is or what your gift is. And the fact that we detected it and we know what we want from it is a brilliant thing. Absolutely. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know their purpose. It be right in front of them.
And they be looking for it for years. And they overlooking it. They overlooking it, or they scared of it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes a lot of people are scared of what their purpose is. They can smack you in your face and you can walk away from it because you're like, I don't know if that's what I really want to do. Because it may cost you something. It may cost you your peace of mind for a minute. It may cost you your relationship. It may, hopefully it doesn't cost you your faith, but it may cost you your faith in whatever you believe because of you just being scared of it. So sometimes you got to take that step. You got to take that leap and walk into it, man. You're going to hit your head. But you just gotta keep getting up.
You said something interesting. So you said it may cost you your peace or your relationship. I don't really talk about relationships as much.
Mm-hmm.
I am soon at some point, but I think for a lot of people who don't understand when you're going towards that greatness thing,
Mm-hmm.
what it is to really sacrifice a relationship to get there. It takes really a stronger person to like really be by your side because there's a lot we endure.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, your peace gonna be interrupted because you got everybody pulling on you, depending on you. And sometimes people just want their time with you.
Absolutely.
And then sometimes like, look, I know you want this time, but I can't give you the time that's needed. And they get mad when you tell them like, look, I can't do that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like, are you with me? Are you really with me? Fully you understand or you don't? Because you a CEO, right?
Most people don't understand that too.
Yeah.
Because if you're dealing with somebody like that,
Mm-hmm.
you're not just a girlfriend or a wife. You're an accountant. You're a therapist. You HR.
Yo.
You all of the above. So when nobody else is around, that's who you are. You might be an employee that day. You might be an assistant. You have to be able to wear that hat of the umbrella of being everybody. And everybody can't handle that.
No, they can't.
Because sometimes you have to be that reasonable person. You have to be that therapist that I need to hear. You have to be the person of reason that I need to hear. Sometimes you have to be an accountant. Sometimes we're going to sit down and do invoices together.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm looking at numbers all day. I might need a second eye.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I might have to sit on the couch and tell you what's going on in my head.
I don't think some people are really built for that.
They're not.
They're not, man. And I think that's why a part of me. So what people always say to me, like, why you never talk about relationship? It's a
touchy topic.
It's touchy, but it's like, as men, as us going through the greatness that we're doing,
mm-hmm.
It's like, whatever your relationship is with a partner or whatever y'all gonna deal with, that's y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to get involved in it because it's like, we got our own problems with the things that we got to deal with as
mm-hmm.
men. And sometimes a voice an opinion about a relationship all the time, I don't want to hear it.
It's not the best thing.
It's not the best thing, bro. And it's like, the fact that you're sitting here, you're running a business, like you said, she got to be an accountant, a lawyer, she got to be everything.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are just not willing to put in the work. They want you to stand there like this. They want you to meet everybody. Oh, what do you do? Oh, he does this. Oh, he does this. It's like,
that's not real life.
That's not
real life.
They don't get that though.
You got to be able to. You got to be a different breed, man. Because we not only being in this position, right? At the end of the day, we still African American men that have to deal with the world.
Yes.
So after we deal with the position that we in, deal with what the outside world is given to us at that moment.
Yeah.
We got to be able to come home and be able to shut all that down.
Mm.
And when you don't, when you can't come home and be able to shut all that down, and you fighting at home and
mm-hmm.
fighting the world,
it's a lot.
You ain't going you.
So
it comes out in your business. It comes out in other things.
Do you ever feel like so for me, what I do, right? Because we do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm finding at my age where I just sit somewhere, don't talk. I'm either talking to myself or I don't talk at all, and it's quiet.
So I don't talk to myself too. So I'm gonna tell you.
You should try it.
Nah,
try it.
You know what the best thing I've learned?
What's that?
Therapy.
Yeah.
Therapy. No, not talking to myself though. I'm talking to someone that's going to give me.
I understand that.
That therapy and
mm-hmm.
dedicating time for yourself.
That's good to talk to somebody. Look, talking to somebody is relatively good too.
Absolutely.
But sometimes talking to yourself is even better. And sometimes I even answer back. And I get the best out of myself because I know myself.
Yeah, see,
right?
Like people watching this, you shouldn't tell
that
you talk to yourself and then you answer back, because it is that is like a diagnosis.
Fine.
Like
that's fine. Okay. I talk to myself because let me tell you why. There's people out there besides me who talk to themselves and answer back. It's not just me. And I'm sure whoever watches this,
absolutely,
they're going to be like, you talk to yourself too? All the time, and I answer back.
It's a lot of those people are in like hospitals and stuff too.
No, it's not like that. So think of it like this, right? So it's like, okay, I got to do laundry today. Okay. You may say to yourself, I got to do laundry today. Oh, then do I got to put the white towels in or the black? Like that. Like far as though talking to yourself to make sure. But having conversations with yourself is not bad at all.
So you just reassuring yourself.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, mostly. Yeah, definitely. But sometimes I feel like talking to yourself is therapeutic as well because nobody don't really have you like you do.
Yeah.
You're right. But it takes a special individual to be around somebody who's really prone to success. Like you are prone to success and dealing with what you're dealing with, right?
I like quiet time.
See, there you go.
If I can, I'm always on my phone. My phone's always ringing. My phone, one of them are ringing, the other one's not ringing. Whatever it is. I like to be able to put my phone down.
Yeah.
And just.
You at that age now.
Not even at the TV, just sit there.
Yeah.
Just sit there and look out. Look out into nature. Look out into the stars.
You see where we at now at our age? We're worrying about nature now.
Absolutely.
I ain't never think about worrying about nature.
It's peaceful.
Yeah, exactly. We're at the age now where I'm worrying about nature. We grew up in the city. You ever think I cared about nature?
Peace.
Now I do.
There's no price on peace.
It's not, man.
So that's peaceful. You can sit outside and there's times that I just sit on my step and just sit there for hours.
Feel good, don't it?
For hours. And people like walk past, they wave, they speak, and I just sit there. And I'm not thinking about nothing. I'm just looking at the most ridiculous things. From where I was to where I'm at, to worrying about living in West Philly, worrying about raccoons running down the street, to now living somewhere where I'm looking at hawks and eagles.
That's crazy.
It's a difference.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not worrying about, cats and different and dogs running up the street. I'm looking at frogs and spiders, like stuff I've never seen. Stuff I've never seen before, and being able to sit out and really like look at it and enjoy, like, this is what they got going on.
But this is what I'm saying, right? That's why I say quiet, peaceful, nature.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the best thing in the world. But a little bit about the grass, because my allergies always kind of bother me.
Absolutely. I wouldn't say it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
This is one of them.
But it's quiet. So I feel like when we get to that medium, man, I feel like as I get older, and the more I become successful at what I'm doing, and the more it is, the smaller things I'm starting to appreciate, right? Because when you win it, you like, yo, I want to get this and I want to get that. But then you get to a point, you like, you know what, man? All I want to do is just this. I told people all the time, doing the podcast or whatever, if I could just let people see, change lives, have a small, or not even small, a nice amount of people who listen, travel the world, and sit on my back porch with some wine, knowing what I did, I win.
It's peaceful, man.
That's the peacefulest thing. Everything else, materialistic thing, that'll come later. It don't even matter.
It's only so much stuff you can buy, right?
Yeah.
You can't buy peace.
You can't buy it.
You can't buy peace, and you can't buy loyalty. So really big on that, man. Like,
loyalty's rough. Yeah.
The friends that I have, the circle that I have, these guys been around since forever. Because before any success or before anything, these are my guys. So if one of us can make it, all of us make it.
All of them make it, yeah.
Because we can all give that other person an opportunity to do something that they probably never thought they would do. So anybody, my guys that I grew up with, man, we close. We talk weekly, daily. Just
you got to
just to come up with ideas, just to be a reasonable person to talk to when you going through things. It could be business, it could be life, it could be relationships, it could be just nothing, just talking about it. You gotta have that. You gotta have that peace and that loyalty with them too. Also,
yeah, you got to have some group of friends like that, and it's good to talk to friends that understand that, because a lot of people don't have friends to talk to. Some people, they may elevate past their friends, but their friends may feel some type of way. So loyalty, like you said, is
you got a lot of friends like that, man. You got a lot of some of my closest friends. Some of my closest friends are family members. And then other people I grew up with or became friends with, and they're all in the business of some type of way. So we all have a part of some type of business, so that we can all be able to relate on that type of topic of, business.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get to the top, and my friends can't get to the top. Right. Which fun is that? Who am I have fun with?
What's crazy? So I don't have a lot of friends. Right, me personally, I just don't. I'm all right with it. I think you know, and my circle's super tight, right? Because you can't stretch to everybody. Everybody just can't be. I learned this year for myself. The experience I went through is when you elevating, you really start to find out everybody can't go. They just can't. And it hurts you. It's just like, you just can't go. You know, you can't. It's like you really want to distance yourself. And like you said, between the peace, the business, what you're doing, some people just can't go. Nothing personal. Like nothing.
Nothing personal.
Nothing personal. Just
you can't take everybody with you.
Can't take everybody with you.
Some people gotta jump off, or sometimes you gotta kick people off and just go a different direction. I got different sets of friends. I know what I can do with certain people. I know what conversations I can have with certain people. And I know conversations I can't have with certain people. But I also got that tight group of friends that we can sit down and talk to. Like, I have a group of friends that I meet with. Everybody's older than me. Every other Monday.
That's good.
Every other Monday, we get on the phone or we get in person and we meet for an hour or two and just talk about life. Like, and these guys are older. Most of them are married. So they just got a bunch of advice and they got a bunch of guidance for me growing up in this world now than how they grew up and how they are maneuvering in the world today. So it's good to have different groups of friends that you can talk to about different things. And also, back to what you're saying, everybody just can't go.
Everybody can't go.
And you got to realize that. And it's going to hurt because you're going to lose some really good people.
Did you, so you coming up, the success that you have, is it some people now that you know that, was it a falling out or whatever, y'all don't talk no more, and you just pretty much elevated or whatever the case may be, you thought y'all were friends, and then once things started to flourish, they kind of like flourished away from you and stuff?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's hurtful. Because it's like, dang, this is my guy.
Yeah.
These are my guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I started moving this way, and then where's my guys at? We can't move the same way, so they feel some type of way. Or I'm here, or I'm in a different room that they couldn't get in, so now they feel some type of way. Or I'm at a game they couldn't go to. Anything.
You said a game, like
a sports game.
Yeah.
People be jealous over that.
Really?
It's a lot of men,
because it's the access. Yeah.
It's a lot of men that's jealous over the access that you have. And it might not even be anything that you did. It might just be, again, the relationship that you built with someone else. And they like, hey, you know what? Come along with me. Now you sitting in the room with people that you never thought you would be in. And then now people from the outside are looking like, damn, I wanted to get in there. How'd he get it? He kind of skipped and just went right in.
Work. You said something though, relationships.
Relationship and work, man. They go hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
Some people want just the relationship without the work. Sometimes you got to give people a smaller number to get a bigger number later on. Sometimes you got to do stuff for free.
Yeah.
So that they can see your work.
Yep.
And then be like, okay, well, you did this. I like how you did that. Let's sit down and talk about that. I've done stuff for free all the time. And I've got paid large amount of money a lot of time too. Just by doing certain things and being the person that you are. If you stay the person that you are, man, a lot of things and a lot of doors will open up to you.
Okay.
That's really big for me. I pray. I'm loyal. And I respect my friendships with people, man. I got friends that will give me their last. I call them and say, look, man, I don't got it. What do you need?
Yeah.
I have friends that, hey, I need to get in this room. Can you make a call? All right, let's make a call. Hey, I got people that I say, hey, this friend needs help. Can you help this friend out? Well, I don't know that friend, but I know you, so I'll help that friend out.
So you have being a vessel, pretty much. That's what we are. We are to serve a purpose and be a vessel. You know what? Sometimes I feel like when I'm doing stuff for people, I never ask for anything in return. You know, that's not my thing.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, I shouldn't, right?
You shouldn't.
Yeah, I just don't. You know, even when I'm going through my worst times, I'm always giving my hand. You know, because the type of purpose we are, good-hearted, right? And it's just serving the purpose for what why we're here.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think people miss out on that of like why we're here is because we're really here to change lives and really do good. And some people only in it for their own self. And because if you only think about self, you're not going to get but so far. And that's the golden rule of all of this is self, is service. And people don't think of things like that. And that's why they always fall legs behind. Even when you were saying with your friends, you know, they were like, why he get in that room? It was a service. It was a relationship. It's what you build, you know, and a lot of people don't have that way of doing that. You know, it's times, man, where people think, bro, like, I could be doing super great to everybody, right? Like I'm doing great. They see everything. But guess what? I still got stuff going on.
Still be hurting.
Still be hurting.
It's the same here, man. You may see it and be like, man, they doing a great job. He's doing it. But you don't know the story.
Don't know the story.
You don't know how he got there. You don't know how many nights it took struggling. How many nights you were up trying to figure things out. Like I got clients that became friends over the years. And they're in the business of serving. So I watch them. I'm going out there with them. We feeding the homeless. We're giving back. They're going to make sure that people have things on Christmas morning. That someone kids can wake up and have gifts. That if they lost a parent in violence or anything, that they have something to cherish. There's something there for them. I've seen them give out coats. I've seen them take money out of their pocket, give their last to them. When people don't have food for Thanksgiving, open up their doors, open up their houses. Hey, come eat with us. So if I don't see people doing that, I don't think you really are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like, how can you not want to help others?
You'd be surprised. It's a lot of people out there. You know, it's crazy. Everybody comes to me about everything, bro. As far as people want to, like, even with the podcast thing, right? I want to do it. And I've always told people, great, I'm glad you want to do it. I'm so happy. And this is where you probably gonna laugh at me. I said, but do me a favor. I want you to sit and talk to yourself about 15 minutes a day. But this is the method of it all. Like, this is one of my methods. You really gotta do your research. Cause at one point when I was doing this, bro, I ain't have a guest for a while. I had to talk to myself, you know, and you really got to understand, do you want to get good or you just want the notoriety? Because if you get everybody watching you, you make a fool of yourself, then they'll listen to you, but that's only because you want to make a fool of yourself. So you got to sit and do homework. You got to watch, you got to study. And I tell people this, I hear from them one day, don't hear from them another. They got one podcast, right? They don't do another. And I always tell people consistency. You know, I'm always answering my phone for somebody that's in need. You know what I mean? Me and you know, we all put our stuff to the side to be that listening ear. Because I think me and you know that we're capable of bouncing right back. Right? You know what I'm saying? True story. This is funny. I remember having $20 in my account a couple years ago. Nobody knew. I made it work with $20. I was like, I'm gonna get paid, but a last of it went to an episode that I was doing. All the money that I had was going to what I was doing, and I had $20. I said, man, I'm gonna make this $20 stretch. You'll be surprised what you can find with $20 in a week. It's crazy.
Absolutely,
it's crazy.
Absolutely, man. It's about dedication.
Oh man,
dedication to what you like, man. It's different, man. When this is yours. Over the years, man, it's been times, like I said, I haven't paid myself.
Yeah, you was telling me
to make sure everybody else it's been times I've put employees up when they got kicked out of their house in the middle of the cold. I had employees that got, in a domestic issue. Hey, I don't have nowhere to live at. It's December. I'm sleeping on the bench. Can't sleep on the bench in December.
Right.
What kind of person would I be to let you sleep on the bench in December?
Right.
Make a couple phone calls, get you into a place, get you free food, give you money out of our pockets, besides still paying you your paycheck.
That's crazy.
But people forget that. And you know what? And you know what that person did? He burned me.
He did?
Burned me crazy.
Dang.
It's crazy that you say he. It was a he.
It was.
I never said it was a he or a she, but
right.
It was a he.
It was a he.
Absolutely. And it was, I got a phone call like, hey, my girlfriend kicked me out. I'm living out here on the street. I'm sleeping on the benches at night. It's 12 degrees outside in December.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You don't have no jacket. What type of person would I be to take that phone call and be like, yo, all right, just figure it out. Make sure you're at work tomorrow.
You know what, though? Even though he did burn you on that occasion, he'll never forget you.
Absolutely not.
And he can't come to you with anything but grace. You know what I'm saying?
But us as a people, we don't do that.
No, we don't.
Forget.
We forget, yeah.
Or we think you were supposed to do that.
You know, that's crazy.
You were supposed to do that. I called in many favors for him to make sure he had a bed that night to sleep in. Like many favors. And I wasn't looking for nothing in return. I was just being human.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I let another man sleep outside that I can actually help? Some people sleep outside all the time. I can't help everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help those people. But this guy knew. So what I look like turning my back on him?
Well, you didn't. But I will tell you this. I don't know if you'd ever seen that guy again, but he'll always remember that.
I hope so.
No, he will.
I hope so.
He will. No, trust me. People don't forget stuff like that. You know, and the whole thing is that, you know, people get upset when you do stuff for people. They owe me this, they owe me that. Why worry about it? There's no reason to worry about it. If I give somebody $20 and they don't ever give it back, I don't care, because they know they have to either come to me with $20, you know, had that conversation because they said they were going to pay me back.
But that's a different conversation, too, because you're saying 20. What about if it's 20,000?
Now, see, that's a different whole tax bracket right there, good brother.
I've had people owe me 20,000 before.
Now that's crazy. Yeah, that is a different. Yeah, that's my little 20 to you. Yeah,
that's a different type of conversation.
I get it.
Like that's a different type of conversation, man. Like it's crazy. The most I've ever had someone owe me was like 150,000.
That's crazy.
And still had to go.
That's a life-changing 150.
And still had to do what I had to do every day. Still had to pay my employees. Still had to make sure they showed up. Still had to make sure we was there on time.
So that person that owed you the 150,000, do you run into him anymore, or you seen him?
It wasn't a person.
Okay.
But absolutely. Things happen, man. But I can tell you with that relationship, it built a better relationship.
Gotcha.
Because they seen like, okay, this 150,000 ain't break you. We got caught up in some things that we couldn't control, but it didn't break you. You was able to wait for it. We paid you eventually.
Okay.
But we also built a better relationship. We also got through it. We also was able to give you other opportunities because we was able to build this relationship with you. And we also seen what type of person that you was. Something a client and a good friend of mine told me, man, you got to be teachable. I learned how to be teachable in this industry. I've learned how to be teachable as a person. If it's something I can learn from you, I'm going to learn it. Even if you unknowingly know that I'm learning it, I'm going to learn it from you. I'm going to learn what I need to learn. I'm going to be teachable. You're going to be able to teach me because that's going to make me be better at something else or give me a different aspect on how I'm looking at things. So one word or one advice that I would give people moving forward, be teachable. Don't take everything personal. Be teachable. It's no way that you can learn without being teachable, man. School wasn't my thing growing up. I went to school because I had to go to school. I felt like I was the dummy in my family. Everybody was master's degrees, bachelor's degrees. I got my bachelor's degree because I seen other family members getting a bachelor's degree. I got my master's degree because one of my best friends was getting their master's degree. And we was at graduation together, and he said, yo, I'm going back to get my master's. And I said, you know what? Let's go.
You want to get your master's?
We going to go get it together. I'm going to go get it together. Now, he going back to get his doctorate. I ain't going back. I ain't going back. I don't have no more school left in me.
No, that's good, though. I mean, you have, you know, the master's is definitely a well, like, accomplishment. You know,
I appreciate it. But
yeah,
people just got to be teachable. So I teach my son, be teachable. If it's something that you want to learn, if it's basketball, if it's football, if it's being an accountant, being a business owner, be teachable. I watch my son every day. He don't watch a lot of TV. He watches old basketball games and basketball games that's currently, just so he can see how to be better. He's being teachable. I watch him come home and just want to learn those moves and then go outside and practice those moves. So when it's time to play, he's teachable.
He's teachable.
So it's about being able to be teachable, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people don't want to be teachable. People are set in their ways on a lot of things. A lot of things that people don't want to be teachable. You know what the problem is? Everybody want to feel right. And it's like you can't. You got to have some accountability when you're wrong.
That's a big word.
That's a big word.
That's a big word. Accountability. A lot of people don't want that.
They don't want it.
They don't know how to apologize. They don't know how to be sorry. It's okay to apologize. It's okay to take some accountability. You messed up. Things didn't go how it was supposed to go. Things went left when it was supposed to go right.
But that's how you grow.
That's how you grow.
Right.
And the only way you grow is taking responsibility for that and saying, hey, I did this. How can I move forward and be better than this? Be accountable for your actions. Be accountable for your responsibilities. Be accountable, man. That's why when you said that word, it's a big word.
It's a big word.
A lot of people run from that word.
They do. I sit and I'm gonna say it again. I sit to myself and I ask myself, what things can I improve on? Where can I get better? And I ask that for myself every day, right? So it's like, okay, I'll sit in the morning and I'll ask myself certain questions, because you want to get better, right? Before we get out of here, I want to ask you, where do you see your business at in 5 years? I ask everybody that come on here.
In 5 years?
5.
We're hopefully talking about the first question that you had, one of the questions that you asked me. Would I ever be the owner and not the CEO?
Right.
So hopefully in 5 years, I can be the owner and not the CEO. Someone's actually running the company. Someone is doing the work. And I'm sitting back on the beach. But I don't even think I would be doing that, man.
I don't get that from you either.
I like this too much, man. Yeah. I really do. So hopefully I can be in that position. That those 2 states, the 2 cities that we mentioned, that we could be in those cities, and that I would have a CEO, and I would just be an owner, maybe looking into some other businesses or things I can do.
That's gonna be dope. I can't wait, man. Episode 31 is a wrap, Chris. It was a pleasure having you here, man. I wish we could talk some more, man, because this was definitely therapeutic.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, it was a long time coming.
I know you've been trying to get me here, and I said, listen, when I got up this morning, I said, "Damn, I can't." I said, "I know I got some other things to do, but I got to be here. I can't tell him I got to reschedule again."
Yeah, but look, I'm glad you came, bro. It was definitely an honor. I mean, we definitely gonna have you on again. You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely a pleasure, bro. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man. I'm proud of you, man. You're doing a great job, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man. Everybody been telling me that, so I just keep going.
Hey, man, hopefully it gets to the top for you, man.
Oh.
That we outside of here and you somewhere else, man.
It's going to get to that level.
Absolutely, man.
Matter of fact, I'm going to be honest. It's already there. I won't manifest it. It's already there.
It's there.
We out.
Yes, sir.
Peace.